Being on the high school debating team had pretty much gone out of style among American teenagers. But now debate is making a comeback, not just in white upper-class suburbs where you might expect it, but also in inner cities. In the last 6 years, 12,000 students across the U.S. have joined what are called urban debate leagues, supported by educators who believe debating is a better learning tool for inner city students than anything else they've tried. Unlike what we're used to from political candidates, high school debaters face off for an hour and a half with no moderator to keep order, just a judge who decides the winner. And in Baltimore, there is no debate that the Walbrook High School Warriors are the champion debaters of that city.
You are actually wrong. You're not interpreting the economy correctly. If we put
High school debates take place every weekend in nearly empty classrooms. The only audience, a judge. Two sides, two to each team, square off.
What's up, dude? How you doing? How you feeling, brother?
The subject today, should mentally ill prisoners be treated while in jail? Marie Bentley is arguing the affirmative, claiming that treating prisoners will prevent recidivism.
And recidivism is a circle, is a revolving door. That's just basically what recidivism is to.
Before she joined the Warriors, Marie was coming to school only once or twice a week. Now she wants to go to the police academy. At the same time, in another room, Regina Summers is presenting the negative, arguing against treatment for prisoners.
You're medicating a person and you're forcefully injecting something into them. It's chemically imbalancing your brain.
Before she joined the debating team, Regina was thinking about dropping out of school. Now she wants to become a Supreme Court justice.
Come on now, Judge.
In yet another room, William Talbot is making a final pitch to the judge. Before debate, William had no interest in going to college. Not anymore. They're all members of the Warriors. At first, they were considered the school geeks. Now, being a debater is cool. But it is hard work.
Yes. Tell me about it.
They have debated such weighty topics as federal education policy, genetics and privacy, and terrorism. Do you think that you learn more at debate than you do in class?
Yeah.
Yes.
What are some of the words that you've learned that roll off your tongue?
Proliferation.
That's my favorite word right there.
Proliferation?
Yes.
What else?
Feasible.
Feasible.
Yes.
Fiat.
Oh my God.
Most of the students at Walbrook High School come from low-income families, many from broken homes. The question is, can debate change the odds for them?
All right, everybody up.
The coach of the team, Angelo Brooks, a Baltimore police officer, thinks it can and already has.
You know, that same child who couldn't read 3 or 4 sentences now can read 10 to 12 pages in 8 minutes. These young people spend a tremendous amount of time in debate.
What are they doing all that time?
They're doing research, they build their cases, and, you know, they practice.
This drill is designed to help you with pronunciation and enunciation, all right? 4 minutes. Let's go. Start.
Officer Brooks teaches criminal justice classes during the day and coaches the debate team after school, both of which he does in full uniform, including a loaded gun.
All right, wipe the slob off your mouth and off the pen, and don't nobody borrow each other's pens. You nasty buzzards.
Twice a week at practice, Brooks teaches debate tactics, like how to make an effective rebuttal.
They bring up another argument, you raise how many more arguments?
Like 10?
Exactly. They raise 2, you raise 6. And you keep on. You don't stop. That's debate theory.
Brooks says his students have overcome tremendous adversities like child and sexual abuse and drugs in the family. A cop in the classroom, so committed to making a difference that he let a kid who was a gang member and a drug dealer join the team. But you're a policeman.
Yes, I am. You know,
well, there's a conflict.
it is a conflict, but we can't arrest ourselves out of the problems that exist in society. So
Did he turn the dealer around? He isn't sure, but at least the kid graduated.
All right, everybody got their evidence? Who's missing evidence?
It's early Saturday morning, and Officer Brooks is taking the team to a tournament at a nearby high school. As the reigning champs, the Walbrook Warriors are the ones to beat.
Get your evidence out, pair up, and go over your stuff and relax.
Relax? These kids are as pumped up as any athletes before a big game. The teenage adrenaline is running so high
You know what I mean?
that some of the kids need settling down.
But, you know, you just got to concentrate a little more and make a little bit of a commitment.
The postings go up. This is when the debaters find out for the first time which side, affirmative or negative, they'll be arguing. Then they're off to the debating rooms with their bins of evidence. Each year, every single high school debate team in the country deals with the same topic. Last year, it was weapons of mass destruction. This year, it's should the federal government substantially increase funding for mental health care? To win the debate, the Warriors have to jam in more evidence than their opponents in the allotted time. So that means Jarrell Anderson has to read his opening argument at warp speed.
Federal funds do not support institutions for people with mental illness, so states cannot move their funding to the community.
What he's arguing is that the mentally ill are better off being treated in the community than in institutions. Then he undergoes cross-examination by his opponent.
You're saying transfer them to community-based healthcare centers, but this is still an institution which you're putting them in.
How is being in a community an institution? That's just like stating if we're here right now, we're in an institution. This is not an institution. This is a school in a community.
My question to you is, isn't a community-based healthcare center still an institution?
No, it's not.
It's like you get up there and someone is actually listening to you. It's like, wow, somebody's actually listening to what I have to say.
I mean, in school, it's like 35 to 40 people in one class, one teacher. You can't get to express your feelings or tell the teacher, well, this is wrong because. But in a debate round, they have to listen to you.
Team members like Regina say they get a rush thinking on their feet. Here, she's arguing against an increase in spending for mental health.
They're going to cause such a tremendous deficit to the budget that we're just going to be in another war. We're going to, no, forget the war. We're going to be in another 30-year depression. I'm going to be 46 before I'll be able to pay off my mortgage and buy a house. Judge, it's ridiculous.
Brooks and other urban coaches say debaters get better grades, miss fewer days of school, and spend less time in detention. Shannon Watson says debate exposes her to ideas you can't find in high school textbooks.
Like all the stuff you learn, it's like, wow, I didn't know that this even existed, and then you get to share it, and it's like, wow, you know, this was cool, I like this.
Don't you have to be really smart to be a good debater?
No, not at all.
You know, Officer Brooks, he takes those people who, you know, that society deems as, you know, slow and stuff like that. He said he welcomes those people.
Hey, is debate fun? I mean,
Yeah.
everybody talks about how much work it is.
It's a lot of work, but it's fun.
Officer Brooks accepted Eric Beal onto the team when he was in the 10th grade. He was a special ed student, reading at a 5th grade level.
Kids made fun of him when he read out loud. He never, you know, let it break his spirit. He kept right on.
You couldn't articulate,
No,
right?
couldn't articulate at all. I'm much better at that now. Officer Brooks helped me in tremendous ways. Every day, I went home, I worked 2 hours reading, doing research. I worked hard to get where I'm at today. Please consider the following plan. Plank 1, mandates. A, do not...
After 2 years of debate, Eric tested out of special ed. He now reads at his grade level and is applying to college.
It taught me never to believe what other people say about me, never to sit back and put myself down.
You've been saved.
Yes, by a great team and a great person.
As I understand it, this debate team, it becomes a family.
Absolutely.
With Brooks playing the part of the dad many of them don't have.
I want to ask you one thing.
Yes.
tomorrow.
I'll talk to you.
Well, look at that. Consider the meal you're about to eat as a happy birthday present.
Married, but with no children of his own, he spends all of the small stipend he gets for coaching and more of his own money on the team. And he often ends up dealing with the kids' personal problems.
He's that person that you could call on 11 o'clock at night,
o'clock.
1 o'clock in the morning.
You have all done that?
Yes.
You're in tears.
About anything.
4 o'clock in the morning, I'm calling Officer Brooks. Officer Brooks, I'm having trouble in my home.
It's like he never says, well,
I'm asleep.
I'm sleeping.
Y'all
I just got in the
I'll
house.
talk to you later.
He never, ever done it to us. You can, no matter what time you call him, it's like he's always there for you.
The original concept was that the inner city students would compete only amongst themselves. But Coach Brooks takes his team to tournaments against suburban schools, where parents hire private coaches and pay to send their kids to debate camps. You show up and they're all in suits
Yes,
and jackets.
yes.
And your kids,
Wearing jeans and T-shirts and, you know.
and that was intimidating to your kids, wasn't it?
It was because they felt, you know, ostracized.
At the suburban debates, it's his kids with their one bin of research versus tubs and mounds of materials on the other side. It was obvious that first time they were going to lose.
I told them, well, there's a lesson, you know, in a loss. They came back, they worked harder, they made corrections, they improved, and then they started winning. So I said, well, what
They
was the
started
difference?
winning even in that league.
Absolutely.
And now they're anything but intimidated.
It does prevent it because
Well, I mean,
everyone
like-
has
I mean,
the
like, okay,
assumption
let's
that
say that-
it's
let's say that-
working for Mr.
let's say that-
Hurst.
Tor DeBella is captain of the top suburban team in the area, Loyola Blakefield.
I think a lot of other people have the misconception that maybe they'll be easier. I mean, they are by far our toughest competition.
Are you saying that you think they're tougher competition than the other suburban and private schools?
Yes.
If debating is a way to improve inner city schools, it's only reaching a small number of students. One answer is to introduce it into every classroom, so kids would debate the pros and cons of a piece of literature or a scientific theory.
You give them this vehicle and this ability to refocus their energy from destructive to constructive, they're unstoppable.
And alone at the top.
And they were unstoppable back on their home turf at the Urban Debate League's tournament.
Walbrook Uniform Service Academy.
The Warriors once again take the prize for overall best team. For Angelo Brooks, the bigger prize is that his seniors, all but one so far, have gone on to college, some on full scholarship. If I wanted to say to kids in the inner cities, go out for debate, it's so great, but what if they don't have an Officer Brooks? Is debate by itself going to change lives?
Yes.
Yes.
By itself,
Yes, it
without that person.
You might get beat up and knocked around a couple of times in debate, but if you keep doing it, yes, it can change your life. Not only that, you learn things that I never would have ever learned in my life, you know? And it just feels so good. It makes you feel really good about yourself.
The private money that launched the Urban Debate League is running out. The Baltimore League has asked the city, which provides millions of dollars to high school sports, to put money for debate into the annual budget, so far to no avail. By the way, Coach Brooks tells us that all 12 seniors on the Walbrook team graduated today, and 9 of them are going on to college.